Hey, I am back with another video, and as promised, this is my birth story. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. All right, so I ended up giving birth December 29th, 2024 at 12:37 p.m. If we just backtrack just a little bit, that whole week prior to, I had caught the flu. Everybody in my house caught the flu. So just imagine being 9 months pregnant with chills, aches, coughing, fever, and no appetite, nothing, just horrible. So my original due date was January 10th. So when I first found out I was pregnant, and they did the whole confirmation, trying to make sure like my sac was in the right place and all the things, they measured me and they said it was looking like January 10th. So I was like, okay, cool. But the way I had been feeling towards the end of December, I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna make it till January. And everybody around me was just like, girl, your stomach is so big, I don't think you're gonna make it past December. Like, it looked like you might probably give birth in December. Now the problem with that is I already got 2 babies in December. So my oldest is December 27th, and the baby girl I had last year, well, December 17th, 2023, was born December 17th, 2023. So I'm just like, gosh, I don't want another December baby. I mean, like, no offense to December babies, but as a parent, you know, December just washes out with Christmas and the holidays and everything, and it's just like trying to celebrate, you know, your child's birthday during such a hectic month. It's just, so yeah, it was a no-go for me. So I, in my head, was still thinking I'm gonna make it to January. Maybe not the 10th, but I was thinking like, okay, well, my dad's birthday is January 6th, so I could probably make it around that time and give birth sometime in January. So we done made it through Christmas. My son's birthday rolled around December 27th. It was Saturday, the 28th, and I was just like, that was the first day that I woke up and I did not have the chills and I did not have the ache. I still had the heavy congestion, couldn't breathe, nothing, and I still had this terrible, terrible cough. But I'm like, cool, no chills, no aches. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do what I gotta do around the house. So I was disinfecting everything, cleaning up stuff, kind of getting all the room ready, like my room ready and everything, disinfecting all that area or whatever. And I was having my Braxton Hicks the whole day, but towards the night, because I was cleaning well into the night, I think I got done like cleaning everything probably like around 11-ish, almost midnight. And I mean, I felt the contractions, I felt the Braxton Hicks all day, but towards the end of the night, it's like every time I did get a Braxton, it didn't hurt, it just felt like it came with more pressure. And I was just like, okay. So in my mind, I was thinking like, okay, Marshall, we're done. You're done cleaning. Don't pick up another dish. Don't sweep another area in this house. Don't do nothing else. Leave the house the way it is. You done did everything that you can. The room is done. The seat cushions are done. Laundry is done. Everything that needs to be done as far as disinfecting was done. And I was just like, all right, cool. Because I started feeling a little bit of cramping, but not too much. I just thought that I was stressing my body. Because again, in my head, my due date is January 10th. But in my mind, the way I felt, I wanted that baby out of me right then and there. So I was just like, all right, cool. Let me just go take a shower and go lay down. So yeah, so like that time that I should have been resting, I actually ended up doing like a full-blown deep clean around the house. So your girl was tired. So now Sunday rolls around. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go to church. I'm gonna stay home. I'm gonna catch, service online. Shout out to Transformation Church, Pastor Michael Todd. I was just gonna catch his service online or whatever, and just chill in bed and just try to like do nothing the whole day and rest up or whatever. So I wake up, try to get up to make me something to eat. I ended up having my husband make me something to eat because I just wasn't feeling right. And I get done eating and I get up just to kind of like walk around and, do my thing or whatever. And I was just like, nah, I'm really cramping. And it did not feel light like the cramps that I had the night before. This felt a little bit more pressure. And then now, once I started to get my contractions, they were no longer Braxton Hicks. They were now starting to hurt. So I was like, okay, cool. It's like 9 something. And I'm like, yo, these things are hurting. I said, I think I'm going into labor. It was either I was going into labor or I'd have messed around and did too much the day before. Then Braxton Hicks was coming so frequently overnight that the way I was feeling, I was just like, I have to already be dilated. Well, sure enough, we get there, they take me inside the room or whatever to prep me for the labor and delivery room. And I get checked, and the guy was like, oh, you're 5 centimeters dilated. Let's go. Like, bro, I was in pain, but I was so happy at the same time. I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Like, bruh, I'm about to have a baby today. Because that's the only thing. It's just like, you know what? I mentally prepared myself to go natural. So it's just like, I'm like, once the pain kicks in, I tell myself, okay, Marsha, you got at least 1 hour to 2 hours in this pain, in this agony. Like, the prize is you about to push soon. Like, you gonna have a baby, like this baby finna come out of you. Like, I think that's the only way I get through my unmedicated births, or, giving birth naturally without an epidural, is telling myself, like, you get to push soon. The quicker you push, the quicker this pain stops. So they prep me. They got the labor and delivery room ready. So I get in there. At one point, the the nurse who was assisting me or waiting on me, she's just like, oh my God, like, are you ready to push? Like, do you feel like the need to push? And I'm like, no, I don't feel the need to push. I'm just having really bad contractions. Like, my contractions are getting closer together and they are getting worse in pain level. They normally ask you your numbers, like from 0 to 10, what's your pain level? I'm at 30, okay? I'm at 30. I'm at 30. And she's just like, but you just look so calm. Like, you're just not saying anything. And I'm like, ma'am, I look calm. I am in distress. What are you talking about? Do you not see my facial expressions? Like, yeah, I'm not a screamer. I like to labor in silence, if that makes sense. Or like if I'm going through pain, I just kind of like to zero in and take it all in. And I hear baby. Baby is up. Hold that thought. Let me go grab baby. Mr. Kylo has joined the chat, you guys. He woke up screaming. You know what that means. Him is ready to eat something. Hey, Mr. Kylo. Okay, buddy. And at this point, my water had not broke yet, which was weird to me because it normally does break on its own. So I can't tell you timestamp, like how long, whatever it has been, but I just know after some time, the midwife comes back in and, the nurse ended up checking me because she was just like, you're not saying anything. I just need to know when to tell the midwife to come in. or whatever. And I'm just like, well, if I was 5 centimeters when I came in and the contractions are getting a little bit worse, so I gave her the green light to check my cervix again. Not a membrane sweep, none of that, but to check my cervix again to see if I've gone, any further. So she checked me and she was just like, oh, it looks like it's about like 6 or 7 centimeters. And at that point I was a little discouraged because I was just like, bruh. Because again, I don't know the time stamp. I don't know how much time had gone by from the time I left the initial room until the time that they put me inside the labor and delivery room. So I can't tell you how long that was in between, like whether or not I dilated quickly to the 6 and 7 centimeters or if it just took some time. So I felt a little disappointed, a little discouraged. I was just like, dang, I'm still at 6, 7, like what is going on? And I feel like 5 minutes later, my midwife comes back in and she's just like, I'm just gonna check you to see where you are or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if when homegirl did her check, if that like escalated things a little bit, because literally like within minutes, by the time the midwife came back in and she checks me, she's like, oh, you're like 8 centimeters dilated. And I'm like, yo, yes. That's all I wanted to hear. I just want to hear dilation. Like I just want to hear 10. I didn't want to hear nothing else. Like, don't talk to me about nothing else. I just want to hear I'm at 10 centimeters so I can push. So she was just like, hey, you're at 8 centimeters dilated. You only got 2 centimeters to go. Your water hasn't broken yet. I can break it for you and that can speed things up. It wasn't necessarily an induction. Like she wasn't inducing me. She was just aiding the process of me getting my water to break. So she went ahead and she popped my water and I was just like, Lord have mercy. It's like she had to go in with her hand to first find, I guess, the uterus or whatever, the sac. And then she had this pick. It had to be like a 12-inch ruler length of a pick. And I'm looking at this thing in her hand and I'm like, oh my God. So she had to went in, tried to find my uterus or the sac or whatever. And we're trying to do this in between contractions because right now I'm at 8 centimeters. So that means my contractions are back to back. By that point, I was just like, yeah, I think it's time for me to push. So she called the midwife and she was just like, yeah, I think this time is for real. I think she is ready to push because her facial expressions has changed because she's been so quiet this whole time. And I'm looking at this like, I don't understand. Like, what did she want me to do? Like, did she want me to be up in there acting like a monkey? What did you want me to do? I need to save my strength. I'm tired. I need this last bit of scream or whatever is in me for me to be able to push. So sure enough, everybody saddled up, gloves on, all the things, whatever they done can. They get you to scoot down, put your legs up, all the things or whatever. And at this point, I had to grab my stomach, y'all. And I was like literally like compressing, like pushing it down, pushing baby down with my hand in my stomach. Like, they're just like, go ahead and push. Now, the thing with me is I don't like when they hype you up like that because it makes you feel like you're there. And then you hear everybody just like, all right, take a deep breath. We'll try it again. It's like, don't hype up until y'all see a head. I normally wait until I hear my husband say, oh, I see the head, or I see the hair, or something. Because when he say that, then that's when I'm like really pushing with like, okay, this could be the last push, Masha, just go for it. But all that extra hyping and stuff, I don't like that pretend like, oh yeah, push. And it's like, you're just telling me to push and you don't even see anything. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, comment down below if you feel the same way. Like, if you had the baby and you're like just one of them people who's just like, don't hype me up until you see something, because you get the mom so hyped up thinking like, okay, this is it. Like, if I push hard, if I give it my all right now, like the baby will be out. And then you're just like, oh, take a deep breath. We'll try it again, you know, in like a couple seconds or whatever. Like, don't do that. They did me twice like that. Hyped me up and it wasn't nothing. But now on the third time, and boy, I felt like I had reached for my husband's hand. That pain came so hard. I like pushed his, it was like, I didn't even have the strength to squeeze his hand. I was just like, you know, just don't worry about it. I'm good. And I held my stomach and I pushed down on my stomach with that contraction as I pushed. And it was just like, it's right, it's right. And I heard him say, yeah, I see the hair and I see the head and all that. And it was like, give it your last shot, give it your last shot. And I think that's when I just let out all the noise I guess my nurse wanted to hear the whole time. And I just like gave it my all and I pushed baby boy out. And because we didn't know the gender, you know, I waited to hear my husband call it out. He was just like, oh, it's a boy. Y'all, I heard it and didn't hear it at the same time. Like, I was just so happy to be done because it's like instantaneous. If you're a first-time mom, like you're pregnant right now and you've never given birth and you plan on going natural, it's like an instant relief. The contractions immediately stop. Everything is done. Your stomach drops. Like everything, I mean, everything is done. And I pushed, I heard baby cry. My husband cut the cord. And like I said, I heard him say boy and I didn't hear him say boy at the same time. I just laid there and I was kind of like starstruck, just kind of like, it's almost like a traumatic experience as well, that your body just expelled a whole human. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like, people don't realize the stuff that women go through, the dangers of being pregnant and giving birth. Like, I don't think we get enough flowers for this stuff. But anywho, and all of a sudden it's just like, we're just waiting. And I'm like, what are we waiting on? She's like, oh, your placenta has not come out. And I was just like, oh, okay. And she was like, yeah, you know, we normally give it between 5 to 30 minutes to come out on its own. And if not, then we have to get other interventions done. So then now 30 minutes that went by, placenta still has not come out. And it's intervention time. So they call in the doctor. Like, yeah, your placenta's not coming out. We have to prep you for the OR. This is where they stop speaking English, or at least when I stop comprehending, right? Because this is coming from somebody who the only hospitalization I ever get is when I gotta come and push these babies out. I don't do nothing emergency. I don't do nothing operating. I don't do, like, I've never been, like, I've been blessed to not have ever been in any of them kind of situations. Now, my intrusive thought came out, and I was just like, so you're about to cut me, like, you're about to give me a C-section to pull this placenta out? And he's like, no. That is not our first initial thought. He was like, this is something that can be done vaginally, but you would still have to go under anesthesia for us to be able to do what we have to do in there. So he was just like, that's what we're gonna try and attempt first. And then depending on how successful we are, then we'll figure out what to do next. But for right now, we're just gonna go with the vaginal part of it. Towards the end of him getting ready to get done, I think I was coming back to it. Like, I was consciously being more aware of what was happening. My eyes still wasn't quite open, but I could hear like the vacuum seal. I could feel them, like, you know, like my body just moving, and, you know, my legs and whatever. Like, I could feel the pressures. I could feel all the stuff, whatever going on. I could hear him asking for more needle and thread. I was just like, what is my down there gonna look like? Because baby girl just went through the trenches. It took them over an hour and a half, because what he was trying to do was he was trying to go in the suction out, because all I could hear him say is, I don't know if I got all of it out because it's coming out in pieces. Like, it didn't vacuum it did not come out in one chunk. It just kept coming out in like small chunks and pieces or whatever. I got back to the room. You know, my baby was supposed to be breastfeed only, so he was also waiting to get fed. And by that time, they had my blood already there. They was IVing me up to give me my blood transfusion. I had to get 2 bags of those. And fast forward, they did it the way I asked them to do it. I get to the postpartum recovery room. They transfer me over. And yeah, let the pains begin. And they came in, they kept coming in to check me to make sure that swelling had went down. That's pretty much how the birthing went.
Baby still doesn't have a name yet. But that's okay, we'll figure it out. And I'm just here. He's not yet 24 hours. So we have to wait 24 hours for him to get his full 24-hour screening. Well, they'll test him for everything. He already got his hearing, and he passed that. So, and I'm just here, like, literally dozing on and off. I mean, it's like a trail of people who walks in here every 5 to 10 minutes, feels like, with another question. Another same question that the last person just asked. Like, can't you guys just share notes at this point? But yeah, doing okay. My husband went home to finish cleaning up everything that I did not get to finish cleaning up before we got here. I mean, I was supposed to do my hospital bag yesterday, and obviously that did not go as planned. But it's okay, it's all good. I just sent him to Walmart to pick up a few things, so he's gonna go wash those things for baby and then bring them here. Have not heard from the other kiddos yet, but I will be calling them soon if I can stay awake long enough. So yeah, day 1 in the hospital.
That's what happened. They say that they don't know what caused the placenta to do that. What they noticed was the placenta ended up growing roots inside of my uterus. So where it was just supposed to plant itself, it ended up extending into the uterus. So it was growing inside of the uterus, and that's why it wouldn't detach. They don't know what necessarily caused it. They just know that that's what it did. I did not want this video to be this long, so we're gonna end it here. Oh, shout out to 100 subscribers, y'all. I'm so happy. I am trying to grow this channel, and I done came so many times to quit, especially during this pregnancy, trying to keep up with trying to make videos and do all the things or whatever. But I am hanging in there this year. We are not letting intrusive thoughts take over. We are doing what we're supposed to do. We're doing what we want to do. We're doing what we said we want to do this year. But yes, we are 100+ subscribers. That is, even my first subscriber was a cheer confetti moment for me. So now that we're at 100+, I appreciate you guys. And thanks for rocking with me. Thanks for, following me and subscribing and wanting to be a part of this journey as I journey on to being a mom of 4 kiddos. But yeah, I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Say bye. Say bye-bye.